Not every shiny lifestyle you see on social media is real. Some are built on lies, deception, and pain. This is the story of Lucy, a village girl her mother trusted with everything, but who chose the wrong path. Sit tight, this is one story you won't forget. Lucy's mother stood at the bus park with tears in her eyes. She handed her daughter a small polythene bag filled with groundnuts and Gary, whispering, "My daughter, make me proud in school." "You are all I have," Lucy nodded absent-mindedly, already scrolling through TikTok on her phone. As the bus pulled away, her mother waved until her arms ached, holding on to the dream that Lucy would return a graduate. But Lucy had other plans her mother could never imagine. The moment she stepped into the university gates, Lucy felt unstoppable. No rules, no curfews, no watchful mother, just freedom. She dumped her box in the hostel and immediately posted a selfie, captioned, "New life, new me." But that night, instead of unpacking books, she was already at a freshers' party. Loud music, flashing lights, and boys with Benz keys dangling from their fingers welcomed her into a world of reckless excitement. Within weeks, Lucy shed her village girl skin. She changed her wardrobe to skimpy dresses, colorful wigs, and fake lashes. On Instagram, she posed beside expensive cars that weren't hers, tagging them "Number Soft Life." Her hostel mates began to call her Madam Slay Queen. They envied her iPhone 14 Pro, unaware it came from a campus guy twice expelled for fraud. Lucy didn't care. To her, being admired was better than being educated. In one class, Lucy deliberately dropped her pen, bending slowly as the married lecturer's eyes followed. Later, he slipped her a note, "See me in my office." That office visit changed everything. Soon, he was sending her money, taking her to hotels, and promising good grades. Lucy believed she had won the jackpot. To her, the lecturer was just another step toward living large. Her real friends from the village girls who came to school with hopes of studying grew distant. They warned her, "Lucy, you're playing with fire." But she laughed in their faces. Instead, she surrounded herself with fraud boys, older sugar daddies, and baddie girlfriends who taught her how to manipulate men. They became her family. But they were wolves in sheep's clothing. Every weekend, Lucy was in a different city, Abuja today, Lagos tomorrow, snapping pictures in hotels, posting with cocktails, writing captions like "Work hard, play harder." But behind the glam, her academics were falling apart. She barely knew her lecturers' names. Her mother kept calling, but Lucy always replied, "Mummy, I'm busy studying. Don't worry about me." One night, at a big club in the city, Lucy danced with her fraudster friends when police stormed in. Chaos broke out. Boys jumped fences. Girls screamed. Bottles crashed. Lucy was dragged into a van. The fraud boys escaped, but she spent the night in a police cell. The smell of urine, the jeers of drunk inmates, and the cold cement floor shook her, but pride wouldn't let her admit her fear. The next day, when she tried calling her lecturer boyfriend for help, he refused to answer. By evening, he had blocked her on WhatsApp. Lucy realized, too late, that to him she was just a side distraction. The man who once whispered, "I'll protect you," had vanished, leaving her to face the shame alone. Back in her village, neighbors gathered around Lucy's mother, gossiping. "Your daughter is no longer in school. Oh, she's a slay queen in town." Her mother's hands shook as she dropped her tray of oranges. She had been working herself to death, selling fruits, while her daughter was selling her dignity for likes and luxury. Soon, the university disciplinary committee summoned Lucy. Pictures of her wild nights had gone viral. She stood trembling as professors read out her offenses: absenteeism, misconduct, immoral behavior. In front of everyone, Lucy's image of a campus queen crumbled. Whispers filled the hall. "So, this is the girl with the iPhone lifestyle?" The baddie girls who once praised her ghosted her. The fraud boys stopped answering her calls. Even her so-called bestie unfollowed her on Instagram. For the first time, Lucy was truly alone. No likes, no parties, no money, just silence and shame. Back in her hostel, she stared at her reflection. The wigs, lashes, and makeup couldn't hide the emptiness in her eyes. The iPhone that once gave her confidence now felt like a curse in her hands. She scrolled through old pictures of herself smiling with her mother on resumption day. Tears poured. "What have I done to myself?" she whispered. When her mother finally arrived on campus, she broke down at the sight of Lucy. Gone was the innocent girl she raised. In her place stood a broken baddie with hollow eyes. Her mother wept. "Lucy, I suffered so you could be great. Why did you choose shame?" The pain in her voice was heavier than any punishment. The disciplinary committee announced her suspension. It felt like the ground swallowed her. The queen who once walked campus with pride now walked with head bowed. Her dreams of becoming a graduate vanished like smoke. Her luxury lifestyle had left her with nothing but scars. As Lucy packed her bags, the same villagers who once celebrated her mocked, "See our slay queen." Campus wasted her. She had become a cautionary tale. Walking away from the gates, Lucy realized one bitter truth. The fast life comes with a price, and she had paid in full with her future. Moral lessons. Reckless living may shine today, but ends in regret tomorrow. Never trade education for fleeting pleasure. A mother's sacrifice deserves honor, not shame. True success is built on patience, discipline, and integrity. What do you think of Lucy's choices? Could she have turned back earlier? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more eye-opening African stories. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next one. Bye!